Jon Jones faces his misdemeanor case in court today, leading to his sentencing. Dana White attended a Trump rally, and UFC announces massive rule changes and roster cuts. Now, usually around this time, the UFC tends to cut a lot of guys from their roster, leading to the UFC dropping 8 fighters from their roster, including Jesse Butler and Rebelis Despain. If you guys recall, he was a Taekwondo knockout artist that was supposed to be the next Francis Ngannou, wound up being 1 and 2 in the UFC. Tarampalas Gregorio, Mateus Nicolau, that was a UFC flyweight, Danielle Pineda, Vinicius Salvador, Tamiris Vidal, and Jessica Penne. They usually do this to make room for the people that got signed to the UFC from Dana White's Contender Series over the summer. But this weekend, the UFC is having an event in Edmonton, Canada, and this will be a historic event because this will be the first UFC event that actually implements their new rule changes. There's now 2 massive rule changes that are going to be a part of this UFC event and all UFC events to come, including now the legalization of 12-6 elbows. This rule is most known for being Jon Jones's only loss. He got disqualified for throwing a 12-6 elbow. But of course, 12-6 elbows is when you throw an elbow directly down, not from an angle, and this was banned a long time ago, and a lot of people have been saying this should be unbanned. It is now going to be officially unbanned, and I think we need to see Jon Jones throw this at UFC 309. He needs to do it at MSG. And an even more important rule change is the new definition to what a grounded opponent is. There's been a lot of debate for the past few years, honestly, about what a grounded opponent should be. There is a new rule. Now, a grounded opponent is considered grounded whenever a fighter has a body part that is not their hand or their feet connected to the ground. So this means that this position is not grounded, right? Because it's only your hands, it's only your feet. There needs to be a knee. There needs to be something like that that at least stops the action. And I think it makes sense because a lot of fighters do this to evade certain situations. But if you have a knee on the ground, you're going to sit there firmly placed. And I think it's really going to change the game for grapplers. Like, if you fail a takedown, like, there is some big consequences now. This weekend, Brandon Moreno is fighting. He actually revealed his shorts coming up for this weekend. I saw a post on Twitter. I actually kind of like these shorts a lot better, honestly. Dana White also attended a Trump rally, right? Trump was actually at Madison Square Garden, my hometown.
President Trump and I have been friends for 25 years. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again.
Jon Jones is the pound for pound best fighter in the world and the greatest fighter fucking ever.
And I actually did vote today, guys. I'm going to reveal who I voted for at the end of the video, so stay tuned. We also got some fight news. Sergei Pavlovich is going to be fighting Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Apparently, this is in the works for that February 1st Saudi Arabia card, which is a card that I have said, you know, we've seen Conor McGregor kind of talk about fighting there, so we know that this is a legit date. But I've kind of talked about maybe they do Dricus du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev there. I think that would also make sense. I'm curious to see if it's a fight night, if it's a pay-per-view. We don't know yet. But the final story I want to talk about is Jon Jones. Now, Jon Jones is going to be fighting in about 3 weeks from now. Of course, he's going to be defending his title against Stipe, but Jon Jones has reached an agreement with his misdemeanor charges from earlier this year. I covered it on the channel a while ago, but on March 30th of this year, apparently these drug-free sport international agents went to Jon Jones's home. That is how, you know, the UFC drug tests the fighters. So they went there for a drug test. They allegedly found Jon Jones intoxicated, and from there, one of the agents, Crystal Martinez, alleges that Jon Jones, you know, took her phone, hid it from her, put it in his pocket, and also threatened her, recorded her. He apparently got into the agent's face and said, "Why do you fucking people come so early? Do you know what happens to people who come to my house? They end up dead." Now, of course, that doesn't look good for Jon Jones at all, right? But Jon did acknowledge that he used some foul language and was unhappy with the agents, but said that there were no threats actually given to them, and did accuse the agent of violating certain HIPAA laws and protocols in place, and just calling her overall unprofessional. But today, we finally got an update. Jon Jones attended his court hearing, and yeah, he finally got quote-unquote sentenced, but I should say it's more of an agreement because the prosecutors and the defense team, you know, decided unanimously that the charges will be dropped as long as Jon Jones for the next 90 days decides to attend anger management, which I think would be good, seeing a lot of his past scandals.
Your Honor, we've reached a pre-adjudication diversion agreement for 90 days, with the agreement also that Mr. Jones will complete 4 hours of anger management with a provider that we will locate. And I'll provide proof to that, to the court of that. And so long as Mr. Jones does not pick up any new charges or anything like that, the case will be dismissed.
Jon Jones did make a statement online saying, "I would like to extend my thanks to the Justice Department for reaching a prompt resolution in this matter, which affirms my innocence and enables me to maintain my focus on the upcoming fight. I am eagerly anticipating the opportunity to defend my heavyweight title on November 16th at Madison Square Garden." Honestly, I think Jon Jones should be charged with elder abuse, seeing what's going to be happening in November. Now, look, I usually love to give the benefit of the doubt to people. You guys see on the channel time and time again, I'm saying wait for the facts. There's no no proof. Let's hold out, let's wait. However, with Jon Jones's past, I don't think he's the type of guy to actually, you know, deserve the benefit of the doubt. I mean, this guy has come up with scandal after scandal after scandal. Like, if you know Jon Jones at all and you know his past, you're not surprised by this at all. You could totally see this being legit. However, of course, this is all alleged. Like, you know, there is no proof. For all we know, we honestly don't know. But let me know in the comment section below, do you guys think that Jon Jones is innocent or not, guys? Please hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share. And I know you guys have been curious, who am I going to vote for? Who am I going to endorse? Well, JackMMA today is going to be endorsing